Okay, so welcome to this money workshop. And this money workshop is different. Am I recording? Yes, I am. Good. This money workshop is different from a lot of other workshops on money. Not to say that those other ones are wrong. It's not exactly what I mean. Um, but I find that they fit into the category of, forgive me for being crude, but hit it and quit it. The same the same approach that we have to dating or that some people have to dating in an unhealthy way, where you want to get in and get what you need and get out. We often apply to money. We think, well, but if I just get a big payday, or if I just sign a bunch of clients, or if I just, and it's the total opposite of how to actually build a relationship, which I can tell you from my marriage is everyday, consistent, rhythmic, patient, powerful, loving interactions. And so that is the focus of today. And I've got a lot in store for you. Before we jump into the content, I just want to take a moment and be. So just a brief moment. I know we've all got busy, busy days. You might be making a cup of tea, etc. But whatever you're doing, just take that moment. And even as you're making the tea, just get into your rhythm. Yeah. And anytime you need to during the workshop, you can revisit that as well. So it's not about manifesting harder. It's about receiving more wisely. So why this matters, or why does this matter? I mean, you've all got your reason why you're here, why you'll take a precious hour of your life to be live or to watch the replay when it comes to money. And it may be you've had ups and downs in your business or job life or just life with money. You got money and then you don't, or you got money and then you don't, and you want more of these and less of these. And of course, that's understandable. So I want to share a little bit about my story and why it matters to me, because I think it's helpful to have the context. So many years ago, when I was 19, actually I was 18, I left to go travel Europe. And I turned 19 while I was in Europe. I was in Spain, and I still remember the fantastic party that some people took me out for. They got me very drunk on delicious Spanish wine. It was the first time I had olives that are just laid out on the table and realized, oh, that's what an olive is. All my life, I've been having olives on pizza in North America. I don't know if any of you have had this experience. I don't know what those are, but they're not olives. These were olives. So I turned 19 while I was in Europe. But most of my 9 months traveling Europe and also parts of Nepal were influenced greatly by my relationship with money. I once lived on porridge for 3 days while traveling in Wales, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just bought one bag of oatmeal and ate that, and then discovered, oh, that's why you don't do that. I won't go into the details, but that's why you don't do that. I slept on the street one night in London for two reasons. One was I actually wanted to have the experience of what it was like to be homeless for a night. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that the 30 quid that it was going to cost to get the hotel in London just didn't. I no, thank you. 30 quid? That was like $90 Canadian. That was how many shifts at the restaurant that I had spent to save up for this trip. I'm not doing that. But I said it was all about the street experience. It was that as well, but a lot of it was the money. Fast forward to 3 weeks ago, or maybe 4 weeks ago now, I traveled to Portugal with my family. We had a 2 week vacation, and I paid for the flights for the three of us to Portugal, the round trip flights through my business. And when we traveled there, we stayed one night in a palace, a literal palace. It was amazing. It's one of the best experiences I've had in that category of experiences of travel and stay and things to do. It was phenomenal. It was mind blowing. And we took Ubers everywhere and we ate at great restaurants. We had a fantastic time. And I was stressed about money. And I don't mean this is not meant as a brag. This is meant as the like before and after thing. It's not meant as a brag. But guess how much of that time I was stressed or concerned about money? For the first time in my life, it was zero. And I only see that now reflecting back, thinking, oh my good Lord, how in the F did that, like, what the hell? That's incredible. You know, those moments when you look back and you go, I dreamt of this goal for like the last decade or 20 years, and it happened, and I wasn't even surprised or shocked when it happened. Has anyone had that experience before? No, nobody? See, okay, I see a couple head nods. Um, Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, I'm like, I should feel more shocked about this one, or I was deeply grateful, but I should feel more shocked. So that's where I hope that this workshop can get you one step closer to. And I'm under no illusions that, or illusions rather, that this one, in 1 hour you're going to completely transform your. No, there's work involved, there's effort involved, there are steps involved. This is just one step, and maybe we continue working together after this, and that's great, or maybe we don't. But either way, I hope that this will be one step in that direction. And I do have at the end, the last, like, I don't know, 2 minutes, maybe three, I'm going to share with you my offer of how we can continue to work together. I'd love for you to stick around, or you don't have to, but that's the only place where I'm going to make an offer for you to continue our work together. Okay, so I'd love for everyone to, this is the audience participation moment, type in the chat, what would be your ideal thing to get out of this workshop? You've read the kind of landing page and maybe some of my emails and posts and things. You have a general sense. What would you love to get? If you could walk away with one thing, what would it be? And I asked this of one person before the workshop, and I'll read it to you in case you're a little bit stuck or stumped. It was, if I could get just one thing out of shifting my relationship to money, it would be peace. Peace in the ebb and flow. Peace when numbers feel tight or unpredictable. Peace when abundance shows up in unexpected ways. Let's see if there's a few more in the chat. Uh, okay, yeah, another peace of mind around money, whether it's abundant or not. Um, Aware of my beliefs around money right now, or more aware of my beliefs around money right now. Understand how to clear some of the blocks I've been experiencing around receiving money. Ideas on how to build my business. Okay, cool. So just to check in with everyone, because I had intended to have a rather large chunk about this be the specific practice of money management that I've been using. So you can have a nuts and bolts thing. I can make that, I'll still give you the same info, but I can make that shorter if you like, because it sounds like what people more so want is the belief clearing and shifting, the awareness around the beliefs that led you here. And then another person said feelings of safety and trust, as well as a shift in vibration. Yeah, so more on the energy. So does that raise of hand, does that sound more aligned to make the budgeting specific part a little bit shorter? Is that two? I got three yes. Okay, mostly yeses. Okay. Okay, well let's cover that first, and then that will leave us more time for everything else. So money needs a place to land. I wrote an email a while ago that I feel like is one of the best emails I've written, one of the best videos I've made in a very long time. It only got 8 views. I don't know why. I think it's brilliant because I've been tapping maple trees here in Nova Scotia, Canada. It was maple tree tapping season. And it dawned on me that this budgeting system is just like putting it. So if you don't know, to tap a maple tree, you drill a hole, a pretty shallow hole. You put what's called a tap in it, a little spout, and then you hang a bucket on it, and maple water comes out. Delicious, very nutritious. And then you can boil that down to make maple syrup. We don't boil it down anymore. We just drink it. It's delicious and very good for you. Although I'm doing keto now, so I can only have a little bit. Otherwise, it's too many carbs. But I was reflecting on that and realized it's just like budgeting. If you don't have a clear budgeting system, money doesn't have a container to flow into. It'd be as if you put the spout in the tree, and as the water comes out, you're there to say, I don't know, go here, no, go there, go there, go there. And you've got like 25 different options, and some of them go to the ground, some of them go to a bucket, some of them go to wherever. You don't have a clear container to actually catch the water. So, with all the money that comes in from my business, and I want to be really clear, I got this from two sources. The money, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, decades ago, but they're very businessy and rigid about it, which I didn't love, but that's where I first got it. And then I also got it from, oh, blanking on her name. I've only listened to the book 5 times. Becoming Wealthy by Genevieve Davis. And she has a much more magical approach to it, but it's the same system. So here's my version of it. I have my bucket or account for necessities, my business necessities. Now, if you have this for your personal life, it's for your personal. I'm just going to share with you what I do in my business. Then I have my taxes. That's a whole bucket. For me, it's 18%. I live in Canada. The next bucket is give. It's 10%. The next bucket is my FFA, which is a term the name is from Millionaire Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I kept it because it means financial freedom account. That's my investments. So I invest that with my financial advisor, and he takes care of the rest. I did all the research to find someone that I trust, that my friends use, went through due diligence. I'm not just throwing it away. Next one is play. Have a whole account just for play. And guess what I get to do with that money? Play. And guess what's not attached to the money that I spend there? What emotion is no longer attached to me playing? Yeah, someone got it in the chat. Guilt. There's zero guilt. I have sometimes like hundreds of dollars to spend on play. And I get to do things like buy stuff while I'm on vacation in Portugal that I would never normally buy. Or I actually did this, rent my local movie theater for $450 for my birthday to do a private screening of one of my favorite movies and play video games on the big screen for all my friends. Play. Oh God, that felt good. That felt so good. The name of the author is Genevieve Davis, and the book is it's either Becoming Rich or Becoming Wealthy. Let's look it up. My next account is LTSS, long-term saving for spending. And that's also 10%. That's the account that bought the tickets for me to go to Portugal with my family. So took the year, just socked away the 10%, and I added the name of family vacation because I knew what that account was going to be for this past year. And that's where it is. Done. And the final account is education, 10%. So what do I do with that? Well, I've been working with a human design Gene Keys marketing coach, and it's the most money I've ever spent on private work with someone. And it was from my education, and I didn't go over budget. I didn't have to put it on a credit card. Didn't have to feel weird about it. I just had the money sitting in an account. Plunk. I see the right buying choice, and I do it. So you can do that up any way you like. Listen to the book to get all the details. But that's the idea, is that for everything that comes in, every income, it goes through that system. And this is what can lead you to identifying what are the beliefs that come up. So you've got this play account and you've been doing it for 3 months and you've got $300 in your play account and you see that pair of shoes that you really want, or you see, I don't know, what write in the chat. What are some play things that would be just play, just call it frivolous, whatever you like, but it's fun and you would just play. For me, it was renting the movie theater. Shannon, new plants. Could be new pants also. Um, Artwork, essential oils. Oh yeah, and for me, like books. I could show you my book. I do not. I need no new books. I need to go read all the books that I've got. So, but hey, there's like 5 new books that I see. Play, done. Or actually, it could be education, depending on where they fall. Okay. So having that play, if you now, let's say you've got $300 there and you go, oh, I really want some essential oils. I'm at the store, they're right there. Oh, but Susan, my daughter, needs a new pair of shoes. Hmm. Now we know where we're looking. That would be something called the helper's paradox, which I have a whole course on. It's the need to help, that compulsion, which doesn't mean don't. Oh, is that my internet? Sorry, is my internet down? Hmm. Well, that's great.
Your mouth's not moving.
Yeah. Oh, no, now you can hear
Oh,
me.
there you are.
Oh, great. Thanks, internet. Yeah, so it doesn't mean don't help, but it means it's in context in balance. So let's say you've got the $300 in your education account, and then there's this great coach you want to work with, or a great program that you want to buy, or whatever it is, and it's right there, and you know it's aligned. It's perfect. It's exactly what you've been looking for. You try to spend the money, and you go, "Oh, but I should really save for my retirement." Okay, you you're not worth your business is not worth investing in. So each of the buckets, wherever you have resistance, gives you very clear indication as to what belief system needs some fine-tuning and adjustment. As an example, my latest experiment is tithing. So I've been giving money this whole year, but I wasn't giving the full 10%. And I wasn't giving it to the place where I receive my spiritual sustenance. So I decided in January 1st, that I would give 10% of my income to my local church that I go to every Sunday. Now, I'm actually not Christian. I'm actually not baptized. And I go almost every Sunday. I deeply engage with the minister. I deeply engage with the Bible and with the worship music. It's a place that I've chosen to deepen my spiritual practice right now. So that's where my 10% should go. 10% turns out is a very uncomfortable number for me to give. I gave $1,000 at one go because I was saving it up because I didn't know I like what if all the stuff, all the feels, but what if business goes down and what if this and what if that and the economy and but I should just wait. So I held on to it until it's $1,000 saved up, and then I go, Will, what do you what have you based your life on? God, call it universe, whatever you like. Faith, trust, deep and abiding trust and faith. What do you sing about every Sunday? Deep and abiding faith and trust. So put your money where your mouth is. Okay, I've got some beliefs there. I'm not held. I can't trust in life. Things don't work out for me. So any bucket that you're not spending can give you a pretty good indication of where you're off. I'd love to hear in the chat, or if anyone wants to jump up, what are you hearing so far in all this? What reflections are you having? What mini light bulbs? I want to see where or how this is landing so far. And you should be able to just unmute yourself and jump up, or you're welcome to raise your hand first. Shannon, yeah.
Hi. Um, it is correlating well. I have homework of play, and it is hard for me to play. And so that's where it is hitting me. It's like, oh, wow, that's because there's some beliefs in the way. Like the resistance is the beliefs. So yes, this resonates. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Dave.
Hello. You hit the nail on the head though or it resonates with me when you said investing in yourself, because I am very frugal with my money.
Mm,
I do not spend on myself. I'll spend on my kids or my wife, but I've never spent on myself
mm,
throughout my whole life. And it's like, hmm, if I invest in myself, it could help my business grow. So
mhm. Great
just
reflection.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, great. And I see Ellie or Lindsay wrote in as well. I only rarely spend anything that isn't necessary. Yeah. And so, Lindsay, something to reflect on either in meditation, prayer, whatever you like, or even just right now in the moment. What do you notice about that? So, for me, I noticed, it was years ago, I only spend money on what's necessary. And I seem to have just enough money for what's necessary. So, just for yourself, for your own reflection, see how that lands. My life experience has been that as I started doing the money management system, it started to create some magic, and I started to have more money come in. And this is where it can seem like a manifestation technique, although it's not, but it is, but it's not, because I've had random bits of money come from places that it shouldn't. And I can't, one of them I can't even mention because it's kind of gauche. Because yeah, but just trust me when I say it. There's been an extra some ant on my computer. Get up. Sorry, there's been an extra. I'll ballpark $10,000, $10,000 to $20,000 this year that has come in from a source for our family that we had no idea was coming. And I don't see that as a freak coincidence. I see it as, well, yeah, of course. Thank you. More, please. Thank you. So as the money has a place to land, more money can be free to come. Ellie, for me, it's never getting to the bucket phase as it's always hustle, trying to get enough clients to pay the basic survival bills and taxes. So it never even gets to the play. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. And so we'll get to some of that in the belief shifting work. So, and it's not to say, oh, sorry, three thoughts at once. One is a suggestion in the book, and I like it as well, is start with 1%. You make $1,000 for the month or $500 for the month. So what's 1% of $500? It's $5. $5 goes into play. Five, and you could even, don't even do the LTSS first. It's just 5 for play, 5 for give, 5 for education, and 5 for play, education, give. What did I say? Five for education, 5 for play, 5 for your for your FFA, your financial freedom account, and 5 for give. Start with those for now. And it's funny because you actually already do this. You have to separate out your taxes. So there's one separate bucket. So we all do this in a way. I got to pay my taxes. Yeah. And you got to pay yourself, your FFA. And I hear you. I was there for a very long time. I hear you. And the other part of that too is, and I have a note here later on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's there somewhere. About in the same way that there's specifics around money management and what do you do specifically? Well, it's the same in business. You do need to have a structure for business. There's your beliefs about business, and there's also your structure and your education around business. So going back to the bucket analogy with the maple water, that required some specific knowledge. I had to know, and it took a year or two for me to get the hang of it. I had to look it up and figure it out. You drill 2 inches in, but no deeper. Don't hurt the tree with this specific width of a drill bit. And then you tap in the spout, and and it should be facing this direction. And da 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 da. This is what a maple tree looks like. This is what a sugar maple looks like. This is what a basic maple like. So all that knowledge, and then now magically I get maple water every year. I broke 2 spouts because I didn't know at first that I needed a piece of wood to put in front of the spout because they're not metal, they're made of something else. So I busted 2 spouts in a tree that I had to then pull out with my favorite hurt. When I first used a drill bit, it wasn't the right size. It was the size that online told me to use, but it was wrong. I needed a slightly larger one. So all these little things, just like business, you need to connect. You need a way that you're connecting daily, regularly, that feels good for you. You need to create something that people want, and you need to clarify your business, what you offer, who it's for, and what they really want. You have to have the 3 C's or you don't have a business, and they have to be in the right proportion on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, or you don't have a business. You need to learn some form of marketing, some form of sales that feels good that you like all that is there. This is not to say you don't need all that. That's all there as well. And I do have a course on that. If you want to ask about it or check out the sales page, I'm happy to share that. Because yeah, that's why this isn't a money manifestation class workshop, because I think that's silly. People working on their money blocks all day long who can't say, "Hi, I think my services would be great for you. Would you like to work with me?" If you can't say that, don't take another money workshop. It's silly. You need to be able to do business in a way that feels good and is aligned with your values. Okay. So yeah, magic. That's why this can all feel like magic, because it starts to lead to more magic. Okay, clearing guilt, fear, and old beliefs. So our nervous system wants to get or does get all dysregulated when it comes to money. Money and safety. If I raise my prices, I'll be rejected. If I charge money, I'll be rejected. If I budget, I'll feel deprived. Money isn't safe. Um, if I make money, someone's going to judge me, on and on and on and on. There are countless beliefs about money. Excuse me. So I'd love to hear in the chat and or you're welcome to jump up. You probably already know what it is. You probably already know. More money feels bad, or receiving feels bad, or whatever it is. And so for right now, we're just building the aware. Oh, yeah, Denise, yeah.
No, I was just going to say, you said jump up, so I suddenly jumped up and thought, hang on, there's quite a lot of beliefs here. But yeah, the rejection, persecution sort of complex about receiving money.
Hmm.
I don't actually get the money through myself. It's always through my husband.
Hmm.
So what is that about? I have had it before, and things are coming in, but I don't really earn like he does. It always comes through him. And I know I've got these beliefs. I don't know if it's because the man earns the money, when you're a child, persecution complex from being the religion I am, things like that. I read something the other day. It was about being Jewish, and they were saying, oh, all sorts of things about Jews having money and terrible things, really. So I've got clearing to do, I know, and I've worked on it a long time and manifested money, but not for myself. So they
Hmm.
can't persecute me.
Okay. So is it okay if we jump in for some belief shifting work?
Sure.
Okay. And so for anyone here who hasn't seen it before in the way that I approach that, or for the recording as well, what I'm going to do is ask Denise some questions, some truth questions. She's going to answer a yes or a no. And then as we do that, I'll be able to tell energetically, intuitively, if she's telling the truth for herself or if she's lying. And it's not lying as if she's being dishonest on purpose, but we all have places where we're misaligned. We all have places where we think one thing, but really it's something else. So an easy example is, I want more money. How many of us say, or do you say to yourself, I want more money?
Yes.
This, this is for everyone. Is that a
Yeah.
yes or no? Okay. So you say to yourself and you think and you believe, I want more money. Do you have more money? No, that's why you're here. So if it, so we all have places where we're misaligned. And this ant keeps crawling on my it's called springtime in the countryside. The ants come in the house. So we all have places where we're misaligned. It doesn't mean that you're full of crap all the time. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're lying to other people. It's just a misalignment. So that's what we're looking for. And once we find one, I'll ask you if you're willing to destroy that belief at the point of creation, which is an energetic process to help shift and clear the belief from the root. And then if you're willing, you say yes. And if you're not, you say no. If you say no, we keep going. We try to look at what's underneath that, and this will become clear. So the first thing I'm curious about is, and Denise, you're always welcome to pass as well. You can always say pass, and that's fine as well. So the thing that I'm curious about is this, and there's a lot there, but for the time that we have, that I only get money through my husband.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Uh, truth. Women. Ow. Truth. Ow. Women should have their own money.
No. Is that I don't know. Do I believe that or not? I want to believe that,
Yeah.
but I haven't had that. Well, I have had moments of it, but it's really hard. Do I believe that or not? On a level, I believe yes, they should have their own money, but obviously I don't.
Yeah. So what I'm picking up on is There's a sorry, there's a Western belief that we have that women should have their own money. And I'm not here to say that's right or wrong morally or ethically in any way. I don't have, it's not, my wife has always made more money than me until this year. Well, her business still makes more. She brings home less monthly, but that's a tax thing. She actually still makes more money than me. And it's just always been like that. I don't care. But if you're swimming in a sea of women should make their own money, but for you, you actually don't have a desire to make your own money, that's going to cause a great deal of stress. And
I
it,
have the
oh,
desire.
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I have the desire, obviously, because I want my own business, which I've had before, a few times. And it sort of, I then sit back because I've tried and tried and tried. And, obviously I've got things in the way, that it doesn't work, or I've joined someone else, doesn't work. And I'm like doing my books and things like that. And when I finish, I would like to be able to have it out there that so that money comes in from selling them and doing things for myself, my own skills, my own talents, sort of thing.
Mhm. Yeah, I think what I'm picking up on is the word should.
Okay.
Very strong should. So if it's not in the cultural context, if you have ow. So let's try this. Truth. You should ow. Truth. You should have your own money.
True.
Yeah. So that's going to cause a lot of stress. I know
Yeah.
because I lived a big chunk of my life there. My wife always making more money than me. And for me, it had nothing to do with man, woman. It was zero. I just wanted to contribute to our house,
Mm.
and it
As-
hurt deeply that I wasn't. I was actually a
yeah.
drain for a number of years, and that hurt. So I should make more money. 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 It just digs you deeper in the hole. Does that resonate?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so
And I wouldn't have thought that, I wouldn't have known that was I thought it was like much different things.
okay, so ow, the belief that the belief that you should have your own money. Would you be willing to destroy that belief at the point of creation?
Yes.
Cool. How does that feel? Better, worse, same, or different?
I could feel like a digestive sort of block going on, like just like literally a heaviness. That's what I feel from about here to, the navel really. So I could
Oh, not
feel
not releasing, but starting.
it, just like a block. I don't mean to sound, whatever,
Yeah.
but just a heaviness, a heaviness.
Let's just go to the direct question. Ow, what are you not willing to release?
Should, ought to contribute, like around that sort of thing. And I don't know, I have got a gender thing, I think,
Yeah.
and religious beliefs, really. A fear, this fear of persecution.
Well, I'm most curious because it's the thing that I was first picking up on. I am really curious about that, as you mentioned, the gender thing,
Yeah.
because there is this societal expectation now in the last, you'll know more better than I would, 50 years, 80 years, since the 60s, that women need to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. And again, I have no dog in this fight. No, I'm not talking morally, ethically. Everyone gets to choose what they want to do. what I am pointing to is that if you have that stick hanging over your head, the shame stick, the should stick of I should,
Mm.
then it's debilitating.
Yeah.
So in the same way that a lot of men will have that should or ought to, like the man should be the breadwinner. But now
Mm.
we've instead of learning from that that's not healthy and we shouldn't put that on women either. Now we've just gone and put the same thing on well, women should be able to stand on their own 2 feet, and men have to be the breadwinner. And well, see, I feel like we've just got this insane construct going. So how does that sound in your head?
Mm. It feels like I can see the roles of my parents. My father goes out to work. Oh, he did. My mum stays at home. But actually, as time went on, she actually had her own money in her own account and went out to work. She was, that's what she did later. So I tell myself, well, I'm perfectly okay to do that. Why can't I? I've been I've been educated. I should be perfectly able to have a business, write, earn money from books, whatever. But it's just, I seem to just get in that cycle where it doesn't shift. I'm not shifting it. I'm beating myself with that stick still.
Yeah, you've got a list of shoulds,
Mm,
and then using each one individually to beat yourself over the head.
yeah. And then there's guilt, you know.
Yeah. And I just realized I should do this for the recording. Because that up until now it's just been bouncing back and forth for our screens, which may cause headaches. Okay. Now, truth. Uh yeah. Obligation. Well, yeah, truth. Obligation works.
Yes.
Okay, I need to be more clear on the question.
Okay.
Uh, the more obligated you feel, the more you'll like get into action. How would you frame that? The more you feel like you should, the more
It blocks.
no, it's more like if you're not getting into action, using the shames and the should and the obligations to get yourself into action, to get yourself to do it.
I guess so, yeah. I'm using that as my springboard. Shoulds and, obligated and need to, and yeah.
Yeah, because I'm aware that I'm using a lot of my language, and I think that's why it's not quite clicking. So I want it to be in your words and how you say it to yourself.
Um, I have to contribute. I don't want to be stuck in this women don't earn as much as men, or men are the breadwinners. Um,
Right?
I don't know. It's like a lot around that sort of gender thing, which I don't know why. I
No,
shouldn't.
that's all good. So I want you
Yeah,
to fill in the blank. I have to contribute because,
we're equal in this relationship.
okay, okay. So the story that you have to contribute equally financially because you're equal in the relationship. Would you be willing to step out of that story at the point of creation?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And to be clear, I'm not saying to not work your tail off if you so choose to become to be more of a contribution financially. That's what I did. And now I'm a big contribution. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the shame and the shoulds destroy your magic and your ability to contribute.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's try. Yeah.
Okay. How does that feel now, especially in your stomach or digestive area? Does it feel better, worse, the same, or different?
Feels like a chink there. It's like, come on, this is going to shift. There's like a light
Great.
instead of being so dense in my chakras or whatever you want to call it. I feel there's a bit of light there.
Great.
It's like, come on, let's shift the shoulds and the coulda and the shame.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of shame that's probably there for many years,
Yeah.
even if there is no time in my sort of, you know, thinking. Yeah, it's been there a long time. Quite
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for raising your hand.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Okay. I saw Ellie's hand go up next.
Hi.
Hi.
Um, yeah, what was coming up for me actually when I was watching the short video that you had on the page for this class, you were talking about the story you had with your father in the rowboat. And I've been tuning into this sense of like panic that comes up when clients book sessions with me and I receive the money.
Hmm.
So I've been trying to sit with that and regulate my nervous system. But then when you were sharing that today, what came up for me is that I've picked up on this story from my parents who don't think that my work is worthy. It's interesting that religion is coming up. They think that my work is kind of against their religion or whatever. Um, and it feels like I've taken on part of that around my work not being worthy. And so that's what I'm sitting with.
Hmm. Okay. Do you mind if I ask which religion? And you can
Yeah,
pass at any
I'm
time.
I'm an astrologer. So I mean they're Anglican Christian, but they think that it's fortune telling. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just to get a sense. Um, yeah, there's no surprise that religion comes up all the time in my work. There's a big background in my work around religion and healing our relationship with God, whatever you call God. I call three major relationships: your relationship with the world, which is your work in the world. So there's the imposter complex, the 8 pillars of the imposter complex, figuring out your business model, all of that. The other relationship is your relationship to yourself. And the big block there is the helper's paradox, that need to help. And the third major one is your relationship with God, with the divine, and healing that relationship. So it comes up with every single client that I work with. May not happen right away, but it always comes up eventually that the clients usually start by saying, "Oh, no, I'm good on my relationship with God. Oh, I'm totally good." And then 6 months later, they'll say, "So I realized I'm really not good in my." So it's there. It's the background of all my work, and it comes up when it comes up. I don't have an agenda about that. So I am curious about that, and it is interesting. I was just reading a Greek myth, and now I forget the names, but I have this book of Greek myths that I'm reading with my 7-year-old daughter. Oh, Hestia. Is it Hestia? No, it's the first god that was the healer god. And he came down to he was kind of kicked out of the gods, or maybe he was a titan. He's doing his healing work, he's doing brilliantly, but then he gets kind of full of himself and he starts charging money for healing work. And the gods smite him and destroy him. And then there's in the Christian religion, the very misinterpreted um, it is better to give than to receive. That's not actually the most accurate translation. It's better to be in a position to give than to receive. There's a count as I read the Bible, there's countless more too, where I go, oh wow, okay, that's why I see very clearly where that's coming from. So we come by it honestly. I share all that to say we come by it honestly. It's not like we are just making up excuses. There's reasons that it's there. So before I go any further, does that resonate, not resonate so far?
yeah, it does. Yeah, I've been looking at my relationship with God, goddess, spirit, and uncovering a lot of this kind of martyr martyrdom, I need to nail myself to the cross, I need to suffer, otherwise I'm not a good human. And that's definitely been playing out in different ways for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You're in good company. I believed it was my job to save the world until 8 years ago, most of my life. And I don't mean metaphorically. I meant literally. I had to find a way to literally save the world. And I wasn't even Christian. I just felt like that was my mission. And it was debilitating, to say the least. Okay, so let's see. Uh, almost. Oh, truth. Yeah, truth. Making money makes you a target.
Yes, true.
Okay, the belief that making money makes you a target. Would you be, ow, would you be willing to destroy that belief at the point of creation?
Yeah.
No. So that's a time where feels aligned, even emotionally might feel aligned, or logically it's I'm ready to let that go, but energetically there's something not quite lining up with the no. So yeah, we'll just go straight for it. Who would judge you? Let's say you made 10,000 a month as an astrologist, astrologist.
Either is
Okay,
good.
who would judge you?
Myself.
Maybe that as well. And it's you 9 times out of 10, it's a specific person in their life.
My mum.
Ow. Yeah. Okay. What might she say? Or what's your worst fear telling you that she would say? It's not necessarily what she would, but it's your worst fear.
She would be like something along the lines of like you're conning people,
Mm,
which I know logically is not true. I've invested so much money in I can argue against that logically, but yeah,
okay. Truth. You're conning people.
no.
Mm. Some, something's not aligned there. And it's hard when like the word to con has really strong connotations. So it can be hard with one like that. And to
There's some,
remind, sorry, go for it.
so I was going to say it feels very tied into this thing, family belief that it has to be difficult. If I get to show up and have like enjoy working with my clients and for it to be easy, then that's not okay. It has to be hard. It's the martyr thing again. It
Yeah.
has to be hard. It has to feel difficult and go to an office and work 9 to 5,
Okay.
do something you don't like.
Okay. So let's be more specific on the last one. So unless it's hard, truth, you're conning people.
Yeah, truth.
And- Yeah. Uh, okay. That belief, would you be willing to destroy that belief at the point of creation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I call it the struggle bus. I've helped many clients get off the struggle bus. I had to get off the struggle bus. It's a very alluring bus. Everybody's on it. It's got so many stops. But to get off, you've got to, you're at the front of the bus, and when it's a packed bus and you got to get through all the people. And so some of us, if we're honest, we like miss our stop because we don't want to inconvenience people too much by trying to get through all of them at the same time. So we like wait. And before you know it, you've been on the struggle bus, you're on the other side of town. You go, oh, I just never wanted to inconvenience people.
Hmm.
So we just
Yeah,
never got off the struggle bus.
yeah,
Yeah. And you're getting off a struggle bus. That's what you're doing right now.
yeah.
Yeah. How does that feel in your body at the moment? Does that feel better, worse, the same, or different?
I feel my system just relaxing, feeling safer
Mm.
again. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Okay. One other thing I wanted to say about that around the struggle bus. What was it? Unless it's hard. Um, oh yeah, the that if and Lindsay, I'll come to you next. Um, actually, yeah, that's three thoughts at one time. So that if we just have fun, that we can't. The more fun I have, the more money I make, and the better, the more awesome clients show up. When I wasn't having fun, the clients that would show up weren't much fun. It's like it's one of those times where law of attraction is just real, just very clearly operating. Now, I don't endorse a lot of the approaches to the law of attraction, but I do find the basic premise to hold pretty true. That the more fun, I call it the inspiring energy. You know, if you work really hard to raise in the corporate ladder your whole life, and you do it through sacrifice, hating your life, and sacrifice, hard work and sacrifice, yeah, you'll get to the top. But then guess what you lose? Your family. They're sick and tired of you never being around. Your health, you've been ignoring it for 30 years. So the same energy that got you there, sacrifice, is now it continues because you reached the goal. So it needs to find another outlet, it needs to find another way. And so with money, it's the same thing. I'm inviting you into a whole new energy around money that has some ease and some rhythm and some space and some ease. It's not going to happen overnight. May not even make much of a difference in the first 3 months, but you start with 1% for each account, or 2%, or 5%, or 10%, and start to notice the rhythm that shows up in your life as you are patiently doing your work and getting into your who you are and how you want to be and watch the magic show up. So Lindsay, I will bring you on. I want to share with everyone my very basic offer for today. It'll take 2 minutes, and then Lindsay will go to you for a final clearing session. And we're probably going to go a little bit over time with Lindsay. So if anyone has to leave right at the hour, you're welcome to. And thank you for being here today. So my offer is very simple. It's a 4 week intensive, so 4 1 hour sessions with me, and it will start in roughly a month, so the week of May 12th. And we'll do 4 weeks together, hour-long sessions roughly, and it'll be just me and four other people. So very small group. It's going to be for $333 US, and that's for the full 4 weeks. And the idea with that is we're just going to do energy clearing, belief shifting as a small group. So as people bring up their stuff, you're going to see it reflected for yourself as the way I'm guessing, or I'm hoping, or I'm expecting that many of you did today. Is that you reflect in what Denise said or what Ellie said, and probably in what Lindsay's going to share. So that's the offer. I hope you'll come join. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm only taking 4 people for this one because I want to be able to have plenty of time for each person. And also in the lead up to it, I'm excited because it's a month from now because I've got my plate is so packed. I've got a conference to go to and just thing after thing after thing. So I thought, how about we have a longer runway than usual? And in that runway, you can email me questions. I can make extra videos. I can send voice notes. I can offer energy clearings. I can come up with new processes and stuff and just give you as much as I can over the next month to help set the stage for those 4 weeks together. So that's the offer. I've been so busy, I haven't even made the purchase link yet. So you'll just have to email me for that if you'd like it, or just let me know privately in the chat or publicly in the chat if you'd like the link, and I'll be sure to get that to you. And yeah, I'd love to see you for it. Okay, Lindsay, let me bring you on. Hello.
Hello. How interesting that it's all been like British people. Isn't that funny?
This is I mean, we have two Amer I think I know
Yeah,
Phil's
yeah.
American, and I think Dave, you're American, but I don't know for sure. But it is a lovely mix. Yeah.
Yeah, I resonated a lot with what Denise said, and it gave me. I was yawning the whole time, and it gave me a really tight head. And then when Ellie started to speak, I sort of forgot half of that, and then I got really nervous and really like in my stomach, and it was just like, oh, and that's still there. And then the headache came back, and it was, and now that I'm here, I don't know where to start, and this is kind of what happens.
Hmm.
That I don't know where to start. But there was a lot of things that was, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
but not being in that, like if I made shit ton of money, I wouldn't tell anyone. So even that is even more isolating. But so I don't make fuck all, excuse my French, any like hardly any money, but I'll work hard. But I still only want to do what's fun. So we can't do this. And there's just so much noise and nonsense.
Right. If you could get one thing out of this clearing session, what would you like to have clarity on or move towards?
Trying to word it. That I can earn, I have the capability, and that is that I am safe, is the word that comes in earning more than like absolutely minimum doing something fun. Because if I went and, I've studied a whole bunch of stuff and I really like enjoy the process, and then it comes to being out in the world and I'm like, no. So I do like really easy stuff
Hmm.
because the money is less, because I have less responsibility to get rid of that, to feel free in
Hmm.
whatever I choose. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the word that I wrote down even before I asked you that clarifying question was freedom.
Yeah. And I think I do have that. If I'm in a job, I won't have freedom.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But you need money for, I think you need money for freedom, and
Hmm.
to have it all open instead of this or that. That would be really nice.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Because then different things come, don't they? Different choices and
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. So my dad had a deep need for freedom. Deep. Psychoanalyzed for a moment. As a baby, he had a disease, had to be left in the hospital, and his mom couldn't be there because she had five other kids. It was also a different era. So for the first 6 months of his life, he was basically swaddled like this and couldn't move for about 6 months. And his mom would come to visit twice a week. So for the rest of his life, he had this drive for freedom. I have the same drive as well. And I created this distinction. I want to see what you think about it between the mature version of freedom and the immature version of freedom. Because my dad went for the immature version of freedom, which looks just like the movies. I'm gonna get on my Harley Davidson and screw the world. Good for you, buddy. There's my Canadian self coming out, buddy. Um, I would call that the immature version of freedom. It's running away from something. And that's what my dad did his whole life. It's why he could never hold a job. He was an excellent carpenter. Couldn't hold a job. He couldn't have a boss. He decided to do business on his own, but he was a terrible business person. He lived below the poverty line. If he had been on EI, employment income, employment, whatever you call it in the UK, he would have made more money and he wouldn't have had to do anything. But he had to do something because he wanted the freedom of expression to create. He was living in the immature version of freedom. The
That
mature
sounds
version of
familiar.
freedom. Sorry?
That sounds familiar.
Okay, so I was gonna outline the mature version and then ask you to pick which one, but you've skipped a step. That's great. I don't mind.
Does sound quite
But
familiar. Yeah, without it being purposeful. But yeah.
yeah, I'm more free now than I've ever been in my life. And my schedule is some days just whack. Like today, I've had two calls for my part-time job, two client sessions, this workshop, and I had to get my daughter to school in the morning. I've had very little time even to do other work, let alone like take a break. Now, if I did this every day, it'd be too much, burnout, blah, blah, blah. But it's not. But I'm busier than kind of most times in my life. And I love it. I love it. I had to remind myself this morning because I didn't want to do today. There's a very challenging conversation I had to have. But I had to remind myself, I created this life. I choose this. In that moment, I became more free. Viktor Frankl found the ultimate freedom and realized he was more free than his captors in the concentration camp because they weren't free. He was more free than they were. And if you don't know what I'm referencing, his book is just brilliant. You can go and read it. So if you were, mm, uh, uh, no, does the word, do you know what I mean by beholden to?
Yeah, that like a weight over your head, isn't it? That you, yeah.
So when you were young, who were you beholden to?
My, I guess either my parents or my mum, because I remember, or actually I don't remember not pretending. So there must, I'm not quite sure what I was pretending about
So
or
in other
for.
words, you pretended a lot.
I pretended a lot,
Okay.
but didn't even realize, it was just, I was never quite me.
Hmm. Oh, truth. Be almost. Oh, truth. Being you won't get you what you want.
True.
Yeah. Okay. So now, this one's a story instead of a belief. So the story that being you won't get you what you want. Would you be willing to step out of that story at the point of creation?
Yeah.
The belief that being you isn't enough. Would you be willing to destroy that belief at the point of creation?
No. Well, I'd like to, but
Yeah.
that's a hard no.
Blew my mind when I was working with my energy healer who taught me a lot of what I do. And he said, I have clients that sometimes they just show up, we do a couple belief clearings, and then we just shoot the shit for an hour and they pay me what they pay me. Some people just want to be in your energy. And I couldn't accept that. And he said, well, but why do we pay Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman or whoever, whatever actor or actress you love? Why do we? Because we just like watching them. I could watch. Oh, what's it? Oh, I'm blanking on his name, but I love him. I always blank on his name. Chit, what? Elijah Chit. Ah, I could watch that man do anything. He was in the yeah, Firefly, the science fiction, but the movie version. He's one of those. Oh, he's in Doctor Strange. He was good in the first one, then turns bad in the second one. He's his main friend at the monastery. Anyways, I could watch that guy read a phone book. Samuel L. Jackson. Cool. I could just watch him read a phone book all day long. there's Anthony Hopkins. We just want to be around him. I just want so it's not crazy to think that you could just be you and have it be enough. So where do you go when I say all that? You're retreating, going blank, or doing something.
Yeah. Possibly a lie, but part of me says I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, that is a journey of discovery.
Yeah. And I think there's been a few times when I have, like, around people, and a lot of them I've lost. They've gone, no, go, go fuck yourself, go away. It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think to be yourself, I don't know if this is true, but it feels like to be myself is really vulnerable.
That's 100% true.
And that is a huge risk.
Yeah. That is 100% true. That is exactly why we have so many fake people in the world,
Yeah.
because it is vulnerable. It is scary.
And I know I would on some level really like it,
Yeah.
because then that is a freedom.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I get to show up with all of you, just me, and I love it. And I want the same for you. And
so,
I,
yeah, but the work is knowing that that's enough, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, it's shifting the beliefs that are in the way. It's recognizing in the moment, when do you do the people pleasing or the martyrdom, as we've heard before? When do you go, oh, I'm going to take me and put me over here for a bit and become some other version that that person thinks that I think that they want, and be that so that I'm safe. It's also recognizing, when are you being so yourself that you're actually being a bit of a jackass and you're like vomiting, word salad, vomiting on people, and you're not actually being you. It's both. Because some people go, well, I was just being so myself, and they just couldn't handle all that is me. Like, and then that's both men and women. I'm sorry. That sounded like I was being a woman, but I'm just being drama king, queen. Um,
No, you can. I no
yeah.
that's fake as someone else.
Yeah. So some people's work is to draw back,
Yeah.
and other people's work is to pull forth. And it sounds like your work is to pull forth. And I'm just noticing the time. We're a little farther past that I've meant to go, and I wanna
Oh,
honor
sorry.
this time. No, nothing for you. I'm the one that's keeping track of time. I estimated 5 minutes, but there's nothing for you to feel bad about. So let's give that one more try, and then we'll leave it there and see how you're feeling. So, actually, let's go with oh, truth. If you be you, people will leave you.
Definitely true.
It's the belief that if you be the story that if you be you, people will leave you. Would you be willing to step out of that story at the point of creation?
Yes.
Great. Okay. How does that feel at the moment? Does that feel better, worse, the same, or different?
Better, a bit calmer, sort of in here.
Hmm. Great. Great. Thank you for jumping up.
Thank you.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.